All right, everyone, it's time for us to go ahead and take a look at the iPhones that have 2 gigabytes of RAM, 3 gigabytes of RAM, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and 6 gigs of RAM, and compare it to see what the differences are. Now, these iPhones are at varying capacities. They're all on iOS 16, which is very cool. I've pretty much loaded up all the applications in the background between both of them, and they're identically the same. Now, the thing I want you to keep in mind for the most part is that they are going to have varying speeds of which they open the app. So these two iPhones, the iPhone 8 and iPhone 10, have the same chipset, but this one has 2 gigs, this one has 3 gigs of RAM, and these ones are the 10s and this one's the 12 Pro. So I didn't want to get the latest phones and compare them to the oldest ones. So with the app opening speeds in which they, open up the app, I don't want you guys to, look at that as the biggest difference of the RAM because that has more things to do with the chipset. This is an older phone, so it's going to take a little bit of time to, open the app. But the RAM is the thing that should be pretty consistent, even though that also changes with the, chipset inside. On the 12 Pro, if we scroll all the way in the beginning, if we open up phone calls, you can see this iPhone can go and open it up. On the iPhone 10s, if I go and click on this one, you can see it opens up phone calls as well. On the iPhone 10, if we go and open this one up, this one is able to keep it open. But if we go in the beginning, we can see that the iPhone 8 also keeps it in the open in the background. So that is very good as well. Now, like I said, I have all the same applications between all of them that are same on both. So you guys can kind of see between them. So let's try the music application. 12 Pro keeps it. 10s keeps it. 10 keeps it. The iPhone 8 also keeps it. Now, I have a feeling for a majority of these, beginning applications, they weren't super intensive, so I think they're all going to be able to keep them in the background, which is really, really nice. 12 Pro keeps the App Store, 10s keeps the App Store, iPhone 10 keeps the App Store. The iPhone 8 actually already refreshed that application, so that is a great example of what can happen when you have an iPhone like an iPhone 8. Even within the 3 or 4 applications that I loaded before this one, the iPhone 8 already restarted the App Store. This is not that intensive of an application. So for this iPhone to already restart it is actually pretty insane. So you guys kind of have to keep that in mind. Now I'm assuming the iPhone 8 is already going to continue just to keep messing up here. So we're just going to go ahead and keep this rocking. So the iPhone 12 Pro, we can go and open up the clock. You can see that one is able to keep in the background. The iPhone 10s, able to keep that one up in the background. The iPhone 10, able to keep that in the background. And the iPhone 8 is going to be able to keep that in the background too. So for the fact that the iPhone 8 already restarted there, we didn't even get into any hard applications, to be honest. Now in the beginning, the iPhone 12 Pro Photos application is a little bit bigger, so you can see it restarted there. iPhone 10s restarted it there. iPhone 10, if we go back to the beginning, it was able to keep that one up in the background, and you can see with the iPhone 8, it's able to keep that one in the background as well. Now reminders, I don't think is that crazy big of an application, should be able to open up that one fairly fine on all these. You can see none of them have restarted yet. I'm just waiting for the iPhone 10 to restart because I feel like it's going to happen anytime now. I can't believe the iPhone 8 actually ended up restarting that early in the beginning. It's not even that big of an application. With weather, you can see 12 Pro able to keep that in the background. iPhone 10s able to keep that one in the background. iPhone 10 did not restart, and the iPhone 8 also is not restarting, which is really good. Now, if we go back in the beginning, let's go and try podcasts. Wasn't able to restart there. Let's go and try 10s, able to keep that in the background. 10, able to keep that one in the background. And this one, is restarting again. So the iPhone 8 did end up restarting back again on this application. Again, I don't want to keep hating on this phone, but it is one of those things that's very, very weird. And with the iPhone 8, I mean, it has half the amount of RAM as the iPhone 10s, which doesn't even have as much RAM as the iPhone 12 Pro. So this one should theoretically be doing much. I mean, it's expected. The 12 Pro is going to be doing better. So I'm glad we're seeing a recurring trend here for the most part. And I'll be surprised if the mail is refreshing here. No, it's not. And this could be also because of iOS 16, who knows? But it is one of those things to keep in mind. The 12 Pro has been doing really good in this specific case, which is very interesting. None of them are on low power mode or anything. You can see right here, they're all pretty much going through all these applications. The iPhone 8 did restart a few times. Now the last one is Temple Run 2. This is going to be a pretty big application. It's a game, and I'll be surprised if all of them are able to go through it. So with the iPhone 12 Pro, it was able to keep that in the background, which was really, really good. With the iPhone 10s, if we go and open this one up, it was able to keep this one up in the background as well. Let's go and try with the iPhone 10. It was able to keep this one in the background as well. And you can see with the iPhone 8, I think this might be, no, it was able to keep this one in the background too, so maybe it's not as big of a challenge as I thought it was. So that was one thing that kind of surprised me there too. I'm sure if I clicked play, they would all play perfectly fine. Snapchat, I'm not even logged in any of these, but I don't think any of these should theoretically stop. But it's very weird that the App Store refreshed on both. The Reminders application refreshed on this one on the iPhone 8 as well. Very, very weird stuff. So I will definitely tell you from this small little test, I wanted to try some other, apps and games. But I will definitely tell you the difference between an iPhone with like 2 gigabytes of RAM and 3 gigs is a bigger difference, I think, than a difference between 3 to 4 and maybe even 4 to 6. I think 4 to 6 is a really good sweet spot. And this is more so like an iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Pro, that's pretty much the same RAM difference. So if you're in that same ballpark, that's probably something to keep in mind. But I think between the iPhone 8 and iPhone 10, these are also very good iPhones. The iPhone 8 with 2 gigs isn't really that good anymore, to be honest. But still, if you want the most, I guess powerful phones, get at least an iPhone with 3 gigs of RAM and then move on from there. So that kind of covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.